arm is on the back of his chair.
Shocking!
Like I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out, sir. I'm good. I'll do no dinners.
Your cat has been spilling tea for days and years now. He's exposing Lori for allegedly being a high-class escort and Steve for being her pimp cat has been on a roll these past couple of days, and it looks like he is ready to take his beef with Steve Harvey to the next level cues. He has some pretty wild things to say about Steve and his daughter Lori Harvey. According to Katt, Steve allegedly sees Lori as nothing but a commodity, and he has been allegedly pimping her out to men in the industry, including Diddy. I'll remember how Lori started dating Diddy like 5 minutes after Kim Porter passed. Well, according to Katt, this was all orchestrated by Steve. Yeah, Katt is now coming at Steve and Diddy in full force, and he is not letting down anytime soon. Did Steve really force Lori into freak off? Over the industry, okay? So it looks like there was some more drama going on in the Steve Harvey family. And it's more than we thought, and now Diddy is being reached to the mess for a while now. There has been some division in the Harvey family because Steve's biological kids feel like he is always picking Marjorie and her kids, especially Lori, over them. But according to Katt Williams, there is a simple reason for that. That's that Steve has allegedly been pimping Lori out to die. For men now looking out from the outside, it's pretty obvious that Steve indeed prefers Lori over his own kids because he has always been more present in her life than his own kids. For example, his son Bree revealed that Steve was absent for the first 16 years of his life. I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16, right? But that's not all, because there are reports that he didn't even attend the high school graduation of his twins. Now, somebody who knew the twins in high school made this revelation, saying, I went to high school with the twins, they were a few years ahead of me. But people always talked and all eyes were on them because of who their father was. He wasn't present at their graduation, but then when it came to Lori, he was all hands on deck with her, and he even took her on a frequent father-daughter date.
On one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant, and you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me unconditionally.
According to an insider, this always made Steve's biological daughters, especially the twins, feel a type way because they felt neglected when compared to Lori. But as it turns out, Steve allegedly had an ulterior motive for those father-daughter dates, because what he was allegedly doing during those dates was actually coaching Lori on how to catch and keep a man. And get this, he wasn't teaching Lori because he wanted to help her and land her a better man. He was teaching her because he planned to allegedly pimp her out to powerful men in the industry for clout and fame. I mean, think about it. Lori has had way more dating opportunities than Steve's own daughters, which is interesting because she was the only one that he took on those father-daughter dates. Now, if you're wondering why Steve allegedly taught her and not his daughters, it's because he allegedly realized that Lori naturally had an affinity for it. Plus, it also helped that she has always been beautiful, and men are naturally attracted to her, and Steve was smart about it. And apparently he capitalized on it, and get this, his kids have always known about this, and it caused a sibling rivalry between his daughters and Lori because they felt left out. Last year, a source revealed that there was a lot of tension going on in the family because the kids had gotten sick and tired of Lori getting all the attention. The source said he did the right thing adopting Marjorie's kids and loves them like his own. But there's a lot of dissension among the blended Harvey clan. There has unfortunately been some jealousy lingering amongst the siblings over Lori, who's the most famous of all Steve's kids, taking over the spotlight with her high-profile love life. Well, Katt Williams is now stepping into the chat and spilling some tea on Steve Harvey. Listen when I tell you he spilled some hard tea on Steve Ca. Now, if you've been following Katt for a while, then you probably already know that he is not Steve's biggest fan. And it's not that he considers Steve a rival in the comedy business, it's that he doesn't respect Steve at all. The one thing about Katt is that he has some very high moral standards, which isn't easy for anybody in the industry to match, cause y'all know how these CBs are selling their souls for the highest bidder. Well, listen then. bid didn't even need to be up that high cuz you all would be surprised what goes on in the industry. But anyways, Sia D has always felt like Steve sold his morals to the industry and didn't have a spine of his own. It got even worse when C realized that Steve had been stealing his jokes and then passed him off as his own.
TV in 28.
Spend the night in hotel parking lots. What was I gonna do? I ain't had nowhere to stay, so I lived in the car. I had $35. And I said, come on, God, man, I've been trying to make this dream come true. You done left me out here like this.
Yeah, I don't know. All two people could have lived in their car, but it's just insane according to Katt. That's not the only thing that Steve has done because he has done way more now. Remember how Steve's other kids have been feeling that type of way about how Lori's dating life is bigger than theirs. Well, according to Katt, the reason that Lori's love life is up there is that Steve has always had a hand in her relationships, even going as far as to pimp her out to different men, and as it turns out, neo of the men he allegedly pimped her out to was Diddy. I'll remember in 2019 when Elle started dating Diddy. It was so random and out the blue because nobody saw it coming, and it was disturbing on so many levels. For one, Lori was only 22 years old at the time, while Diddy was almost 50. And if that 28-year-old age gap wasn't bad enough, it gets creepier when you realize that by the time Lori was born, Diddy was already in his late 20s and had a 5-year-old son, which means that Diddy's son was older than his girlfriend. Yeah, that's a little bit creepy, and according to Katt, that's what made this weirder was the fact that Diddy had been in Lori's life since the time she was a teenager. See, Diddy and Steve ran in the same circles even if they weren't besties, and he definitely knew Lori when she was a minor, so the fact that he would even pursue a relationship with her was just all kind of weird. However, Katt claimed that Lori didn't exactly have a say in the relationship because Steve pretty much forced her into that relationship. What makes it even weirder is the fact that Lori started dating Diddy only months after his ex Kim Porter passed away. And when Kim was alive, she had a great relationship with Kim. She was pretty upset when Kim passed. She even paid her respect in a now deleted Instagram post where she said, having a hard time processing this one. You were such a beautiful person inside and out. I'm so glad I told you how much I loved and missed you the last time I saw you. Your energy was truly something special, an angel on earth and now in heaven. Rip Mama Kim Mom. I wonder how she knew Kim Porter. Is it because she was dating Diddy's son? Well, anyway, she was so upset over Kim Porter's death, but she started dating Kim's baby daddy only a couple months after Kim passed. Either Laura was super two-faced, or the relationship was against her will, but according to Katt, it was the latter because Steve took the opportunity of Kim's passing to slide Lori right in. Katt pointed out how insane it was, as that Steve would pimp Lori out to Diddy of all people. I mean, Diddy has always had a reputation for being a bad guy, and while the general public didn't know how bad it was until Cassie dropped her lawsuit, people in Diddy's circle knew what was going on. According to Cassie, it was an open secret that Diddy used to put his hands on his girlfriends, including her importer and his first baby mama, Misa Hilton. But Steve didn't care about that. All he wanted was for Lori to be attached to a big name in the industry and give him more clout. But once Lori went public with her relationship with Diddy, she suddenly deleted the tribute that she posted to Kim Porter from her Instagram. Y'all know what they say, you can never really delete anything from the internet. So she went public with Diddy, and they were spotted out about less than 6 months after Kim passed. People were waiting for Steve to step in the situation and put an end to the BS, but according to Katt, he was not one of those people because he could tell from the start that it was a weird relationship that had Steve's name written all over it, and true to that, it wasn't long before we saw Steve and Marjorie on vacation with Lori and Diddy. And when I tell you that we were all shook, as if, listen, not only were they aware of the relationship, but they gave it their full blessing for the relationship because Diddy and Lori were fully packing on the PDA. Now, this has all been very disturbing, but what really got people's attention is the color of Lori's nail polish. Every single time that she was spotted out and about with Diddy, she had on white-colored nail polish, and y'all know what Cassie said about the white nails in her lawsuit. Cassie claimed that Diddy used to force her to wear white nail polish because he loved the way that the white nail polish contrasted against the dark skin of male escorts that he forced her to be intimate with. Now, Cassie wasn't the only one who was subjected to this because there are rumors that he did the same thing to young Miami as well. After fans noticed that Miami also had on white nail polish every time she was with Diddy, leading to speculations that he also made Miami take part in these freak-offs, so Lori wearing white nail polish around Diddy sent off red flags for us, especially when we consider the fact that she completely stopped wearing white nail polish after she and Diddy broke up, causing fans to speculate that she saw some pretty wild things when she was with Diddy. Well, according to Katt, Steve didn't care what Lori was going through with Diddy as long as she was with him and she was linked to him. He slammed Steve Harvey, calling him out for being selfish and pimping Lori out to Diddy when he knew fully well what kind of man Diddy was. Had also claimed that Diddy wasn't the last man that Steve pimped Lori out to, because he also pimped her out to other men, including Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, Katt's revelations had fans dragging Diddy and Steve for filth, and they've been leaving comments. No one's saying I've been said Steve was pimping that child out. Ain't no way she ran through that many men. And no one is good enough. She was smart and got away from puppy quick, fast, and in a hurry. Either Steve doesn't have a say or he's all about the material things and status. He probably thought a job or marriage would come out of that. Since she's not ASP, no sane parent will let their child who's barely an adult date a dangerous 50-year-old man like Kim, especially after hearing the rumors about Kim's death. And Diddy is crazy. He dated someone who dated his son, and Steve approving of that was creepy as fudge. Not the fudge catching a strike. But do you guys think that Lori is ever going to get out of Steve's control and finally start dating for love? Drop your thoughts in comments below, and then check out this next video.